Today's project stars this adorable crochet motif. This is the next motif for our crochet Christmas garland. Once more, it is a no-sew crochet pattern that uses about 3.5 yards of yarn. And once more starts off with the same initial pattern as all of our other motifs. All right, let's get crocheting. To crochet our Christmas star, we will once more be using weight 4 worsted weight yarn and a 5mm crochet hook. Again, you only need 4 yards of yarn, and this is a no-sew pattern. We just need one color of yarn for this project, and I'm choosing to make my star in the color white, but feel free to use any color that you want. Once more, it starts off by working 9 half double crochet into the magic ring, which if you've been keeping up with this series, you're a pro at it by now, but we'll go through it anyways. So I'm going to wrap the yarn around my 2 fingers, so I've got the tail end pointing towards me, the working end of yarn going away. And to set up my magic ring, I'm going to take my hook and go under the first strand, over the second strand, and with my hook pointing downward, I'm going to catch that strand, pull it forward, and then twist. Now that my magic ring is set up, I am going to chain 2. So yarn over, pull through a loop, yarn over, pull through a loop for my second chain. I like to size my magic ring down a little bit before I start working into it. But now we're ready to place 9 half double crochet stitches into the magic ring. So that's yarn over, insert our hook through the magic ring, making sure we go through the loop and around the tail. Then I will yarn over and pull up a loop, then yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on my hook. Oh, but don't split the yarn there like I'm doing. There we go. That's the first half double crochet. We've got 8 more to go. So it's yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3. So that's 2. This is our third half double crochet. Fourth half double crochet, half double crochet number 5, half double crochet number 6, half double crochet number 7. This is number 8. And this is our last half double crochet for this round, half double crochet number 9. Now that we worked our 9 stitches, we want to slip stitch in the top of the first stitch from the round. And I want to slip stitch in the top of the half double crochet, not in the chain 2 turning chain. So a really easy way to find that first stitch if you're having a hard time telling what's the turning chain or what's the stitch is we're going to count back 9 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, which means that this right here is the top of our first half double crochet. Insert underneath that, yarn over and pull through everything on our hook to complete a slip stitch. And this one I like to cinch nice and snug. I'll size my loop back down, and now we're ready to close up the magic ring. So we take the tail and pull it on closed, nice and snug. That is round 1. We start round 2 by chaining 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we're going to work our first point by working in the chains we've just made, but instead of working in the front of the chain, we're going to work in the back nub. So the front of the chain has this V shape, but we want to look for these little bumps on the back side like that, like this strand here, and we're going to work our stitches underneath those. So to start working in the chain, we're going to skip the first chain from our hook, go to the second chain from the hook, and we're going to work in the back nub. And we're going to place a slip stitch in the back nub of that chain. So that's insert my hook, yarn over, pull through everything. And I'm not going to cinch this slip knot tight or anything like that. Then we'll go to the back nub of the next chain, and that's going to get a single crochet. So that is insert the hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Then in the next chain, we will work a half double crochet. Again, working in the back nub. So it's yarn over, insert in the back nub of the chain, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3. And now we're ready to fasten this point of the star down. So we're going to go to our next stitch in round 1. So here's the first stitch we worked in. We're going to go to the next stitch right here. And in that stitch, we're going to work a slip stitch. So yarn over, pull through everything on our hook. And this one, I do like to cinch up nice and snug. Now we're going to get a nice repeating pattern where we're going to work pretty much what we just did to create the other 4 points of the star. We start by going to the next stitch and slip stitching. So that's insert, yarn over, pull through everything. Again, I kind of like to pull these slip stitches tight. Then we will chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. This next part's going to look really familiar. We're going to skip the first chain from the hook, go to the second chain from the hook, find the back nub of that chain, and we're going to work a slip stitch there. So insert, yarn over, pull through everything to slip stitch. The next chain will get a single crochet in the back nub. So single crochet, and then in that last chain here, we will work a half double crochet into the back nub. And once we've worked down that chain we made, we'll go to the next stitch of round 1 and slip stitch. So this is where we worked the last slip stitch, so we'll go to the next stitch of round 1, insert our hook there, yarn over, pull through everything, and we're going to repeat that 3 more times. And with each iteration, I'm going to get just a little bit faster, because once you get the hang of one, it's smooth sailing for the rest. So the pattern is slip stitch into the next stitch of round 1. Again, I like to pull this nice and snug. Then we chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then we go to the back nub of the second chain from the hook, and we're going to work a slip stitch. Then in the next chain, we work a single crochet. And then in the back nub of the last chain that's left, we work a half double crochet. Then to finish up this point of the star, we go to the next stitch of round 1. We're going to work a slip stitch there, and again, this is one that I like to cinch up nice and snug. Then repeat again. So it's slip stitch into the next stitch of round 1. I like to pull the snug. Then we chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then in the second chain from our hook, in the back nub, we will work a slip stitch. Then the next stitch gets a single crochet. And then the last stitch, that last chain gets a half double crochet worked into it. And then to tack it down, we're going to go to the next stitch of round 1, insert our hook, and work a slip stitch. Again, I like to snug it up very nicely. And now we've got just one star point left to go. So I go to the next stitch of round 1, work a slip stitch, pulling it nice and snug. Something I should have mentioned sooner is when we work this chain 4, you might want to work it a little bit looser. I tend to work my chains kind of tight, and you can see that kind of pulls the points of the star over just a little bit. Should have mentioned that sooner, but just work them a little bit looser if you run into that. So we will chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Go to the second chain from my hook, and in the back nub, I will work a slip stitch, making sure I don't split the yarn. Then the back nub of the next chain gets a single crochet. And then the back nub of that last chain will get a half double crochet. Now, if you remember, round 1 only had 9 stitches. We've worked in all 9 stitches of round 1. So to tack down this last point of the star, we're going to go right here and slip stitch kind of into the base of the chain 4 from the first point of the star. And really, as long as you just kind of go somewhere in this general vicinity with your hook, it doesn't really matter where you insert. But just find somewhere in this general vicinity. I'm going to go under this stitch right here. And we're going to work a slip stitch to tack down that last point of the star. Again, I like to really snug it up. Then we're ready to fasten off, so I will cut my tail end and then take that tail that I just cut and pull it on through my hook, stitch it down, and now I finished crocheting my star. We technically have one step left, and that's dealing with these tail ends, but remember how I said it's a no-sew pattern? We're not going to sew those in. I've got a little hack for you of how we're going to deal with that. If you're someone who is just a better person than me and doesn't mind weaving in the tail ends, by all means do that. But I am going to hot glue my tails to the back of my project. If you've watched the other videos, you know the process by now. Put a little dab of hot glue down, lay the yarn tail into the glue, and as an extra measure, use the tip of a pair of scissors or a toothpick to press the tail firmly into the glue. This one's nice because it only has 2 tail ends. I'll repeat the same process. Dab the glue, lay the yarn in it, press the yarn into the glue with scissors, a toothpick, whatever you want to use. Might get a little messy, that is totally okay. And glue on the scissors will pop right off. Now I just have to trim my tails. And you might notice everything's getting tangled in the glue gun strings. Don't worry about it. We'll just kind of gather them, pull them off. And now our star is finished and we gotta skip on weaving in the ends. So I hope you had fun making this little star. I love how quick and easy these are to whip up. So you can make as many or as few as you want for your garland. And of course, you can use these motifs for any other project that you want to. You could sew it onto a pocket, turn it into a bookmark, make an applique for a blanket, whatever you want. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to subscribe and leave a thumbs up, and I'll catch you next time. Happy crafting!